objectivity, discipline, and of tangible expectations and results. And matched very well with my characters, and everything this discipline represents matched very well with my character. I always thought I wanted to go to the industry. I worked for the industry before I did my PhD, and because I was working at the same time as a research associate at a technological institution in Greece. I realized that I really liked research, so I decided to go back to research and do a PhD. During my PhD years, I started to prepare to become a lecturer by doing the first degree of the Higher Education Academy to become an associate fellow. So before finishing my PhD, I became an associate fellow of the Higher Education Academy. I started to apply for research fellowship jobs. And then one day I saw this lecturing position at the University of Ulster in Northern Ireland. Even though I didn't have my PhD at that time, but in the job description, it was clearly stated that even if one was at the stage of submitting their PhD, they could for the job. I did, and I got the job. I got tenured within 3 years. I stayed there for 6.5 years, then moved to the University of Bradford in the chemical engineering department. I asked to be tenured within a year's time, as I worked in the UK academia before. They accepted that. So I left the academia while I was tenured. And I did that again because some things were not clicking. It didn't feel right. I was not feeling well with what I had in mind and with the way things evolved. I realized that life is too precious to not to risk, but it's too precious not to try. And I'm not really afraid or scared of making shifts in my life. And I thought that that was the right time to make that shift.
Wow, that's incredible. So all your life working towards this goal and working in academia, and then you just say, you know what, this doesn't feel right for me anymore. And you just take the risk, you take the leap and get out of your comfort zone and go into something new. That's really inspiring, actually, to just not be afraid and say that, life is too precious, to not try to be happier, be more fulfilled.
My life's goal was not to be in the academia. My life's goal has always been knowledge. I'm a
Beautiful.
knowledge junkie. I like to explore, to search, to research, to find new things, not just about the world around me, but also for myself. I don't think I will stop learning until the end.
Me
And
either,
this,
girl.
I love it. I think that it keeps the mind young. It keeps you young, not to feel bored. I wouldn't like to say that, yes, my life is boring right now. I don't want anything to be boring. And I constantly look around for new opportunities. And research gives me this sense of excitement to find something that has not been noticed before, or that just to make a little twist in something and you get something new. And this is incredible. Because, I mean, why are we here in life? Just to breathe air and go on holidays and travel, or whine about global warming? And don't let me get started with the people who complain about global warming and climate change, yet they might order, let's say, from China, a product that is for free, and they only pay for the shipping costs, and nobody really thinks about the carbon footprint or what the
Mm.
working conditions are for these people who work for a product that comes to you for free and you only pay for the shipping fees. Um, in any case, there are so many things I really want to do, and sometimes I'm thinking I'm out of time. I want to do more, and I want to do more, and this is when discipline comes in. And take a step back, say to myself, you know what, you have to focus on these 3 4 things, finish with them, and then move on. Because I'm always like this. I think I will always have this child curiosity of discovering new things and finding new things, like kids when they play and whenever they see a new toy, they run towards it and they forget about their old toys. Well, it's something like that.
I feel like I identify with so much of that. Like I'm a lifelong learner. I loved research. It was my favorite thing about graduate school was all the research that was required. I probably could have been very happy as a researcher. I really feel that. And I love probably that you got involved on this path by watching Star Trek because not that I do, the original Star Trek is my favorite. I haven't seen them all, but I have seen that the original series, and I do love it because I like old TV shows, just weird like that. But I loved Doctor Who growing up, and it's very similar in the concept of exploration and getting new understandings and very in outer space and timelines and all of those things. So I grew up on that. I probably have seen every single episode of Doctor Who. So yes, I am coming out as a Doctor Who nerd right now. So I totally get that and how you have that curiosity and that zest for knowledge that will remain with you your entire life, because I feel the same way. I am a lifelong learner. I love to learn new things. I love to try new things, and I love to explore. And as I'm getting older, I'm getting more and more fearless in my pursuit of exploring and trying and understanding of new things and concepts. So I really find that amazing about you. And I just want to know more. So everything that you're doing now, everything that you're doing now with mentoring and everything like that, when you made that decision to leave academia, what was the first thing you did that led you into this path?
Well, I really liked as after finishing my graduate degree, I returned to Greece and I worked for the industry. And at the same time, I was a research associate at a technological institution where I was teaching. And I really liked also the contact with young people and the students. It felt like an ongoing dialogue with future generations, in a sense, even though in science and engineering you mostly teach a very specific curriculum, yet communication was very important. And I always felt great that I could contribute towards next generations. It's going to be a lie for most scientists. They simply say that they just do a job for the sake of doing a job. This is just a lie. It's not a legacy. It's about leaving something behind that is meaningful. I don't know how other people manage to do that while having families. I don't have a family, at least not yet. And the way I see it, I don't think I will. But um, well, generally speaking, it's about contributing to something that is new and contribute to what the future is going to be like. So these were the main reasons, and the fact that I wanted to acquire more and more new knowledge, because even when one teaches, it's not as simple as going into the classroom and or into a lecture theater and start talking about um, everything that you have to deliver in terms of content. It's how you deliver it. There are specific methods. And mentoring is a completely different story. It's different to coaching, it's different to academic advising. For example, you've been a coach. You said in your introduction that you're a coach at London Real. From my experience with you as a coach at London Real, I wouldn't call you a coach, I would call you a mentor,
Mm-hmm.
because you facilitated the process. You were never saying that, why don't you do this, why don't you do that. You wouldn't really give guidance and directions, which is absolutely necessary in successful mentoring. So, and you did it in a very nice way, and I really liked the way you
You.
did your work at London Real. um, we had some hard times. You made it easier for us. It's very important for PhDs, well, for all PhDs, not just for PhDs in STEM, but I'm working with PhDs in STEM, to have this feeling of being supported while not being guided to create their own path, but to feel support all the way. And to learn from that, remember that process, and apply it in the future. Whenever they have to make different choices, they can recall that process and the steps of that process, which is the most important thing. In life, we do not just learn through experiences in our daily lives, we do not just learn knowledge. And actually, learning is a process, and acquiring knowledge is also a process. Um, so we have to find our own ways of how to do this work for us. Nobody can really tell you what to do after your PhD. It's better to find it yourself. But there are facilitating methods like mentoring that can create that environment for a PhD candidate or one who has finished his PhD to plan a career during their PhDs at their own pace and time, based on what they find fascinating, based on what they really want to do, where they see their contributions are going to be, and create a portfolio of things to showcase. Because we most commonly listen to graduates saying, I'm looking for a job, but everyone is asking if I have any experience in that job. How am I
Yeah.
supposed to have any experience? I was studying, I'm like 21 years old. How could I have such an experience? So, through the mentoring for PhDs in STEM, this is the plan, to have some action, some outcomes through the mentoring program that one can showcase and say, yes, I have an experience.